Hey guys, welcome back. It's that time again. We'll have a look at the top Ippons from the Tashkent Grand Slam. We're going to start off with a no score. So Boltoboyev holding up Namien from France. And I mean, this is probably the longest I've seen someone held up in the air like that. No score. Namien manages to rotate out of it. Morao here doing his thing. A nice Osotogari. Little shuffle to the right side. Gets closer to that leg and perfectly executed. This is Ueoka at under 100s, one of the relatively new prospects for Japan at under 100s. He's got a fantastic seoi nage. Also at under 100s for Japan, Green, but he went out early at the Tashkent Grand Slam, thrown by this beautiful Ochigari, and you can see the disbelief on his face. And this here, he walks off the mat without shaking hands, but I don't think he's been rude here. I think it's just his lack of international experience. In Japan, they don't shake hands, they just walk off the tatami. But this Ochigari, beautifully well done, just keep rotating and turning around. Probably the biggest uranage of the contest. I mean, just suplexed him. Incredible stuff. You can see he readjusts his hand, puts both hands around his opponent's waist, which is a bit rare for uranage in Japan. This guy Farah, he has a really nice front uchimata, or a yagura nage as they like to call it. Goes about it well, sequencing those hand grips, not just going for a straight bear hug. Picks him up, dumps him. Also guys, I hope you have liked the video. Subscribe to the channel, and if you're really feeling generous, hit that join button. You can become a member of the channel, and I'm thinking, because recently members have actually increased, and I'm thinking of starting a Discord. There'll be a chat room, but I'm also thinking of making like a Wikipedia of just, you know, techniques, putting videos in there, how techniques should be done, when they're most effective, what grips to take, what variations there are, steps, all these sorts of things. Just as like a place to have a giant resource. Might be good for judo teachers who have their own dojos. So if that's something that interests you, hit the join button. Otherwise, just like, subscribe to the channel. That would be great. And now back to the judo. And by the way, this is Goncalves. He is an awesome judoka. Go look him up. This one here, sneaky Taniatoshi. So white didn't even have a grip. Blue took the grip on his sleeve and then he just, you know, put his hands in the right place. Crossed the body there, made that Taniatoshi easy to go into. Harai Goshi Makikomi here. Wrapping up that hand beautifully. Good follow through as well. Rolling him over completely. Nice Kochi Makikomi here. And this is against Stump. Stump, very high level competitor, took gold at the last Grand Slam in Tel Aviv. Horikawa now. And didn't have enough leg length to kind of throw over with the leg, but the control with the hands, the pull, enough to get her opponent down to the mat. This Ochigari, I've never seen an Ochigari quite like it. Just explodes through his opponent. Loses control with his left, but it's that right hand. Only got a sleeve grip, but managed to just push him through. Awesome Ochigari. This one here, I liked it. They originally scored it as an Ippon, but there was a third Shido before this throw, and so they cancelled it, but I still like it. It's a really nice throw. I guess you have to call it an uranage, even though it's chest to chest and he's not really behind his opponent. I guess you could call it a Yoko Otoshi, maybe. Murao again now, this time 2 hands on the one lapel, goes in for an Ochi, changes it to an Uchimata. And Murao, he's just sensational. The control he has of his opponents, just always manages to get them down on their backs. He's definitely the best under 90 kg competitor for Japan. Bobanov and his front Uchimata now. Watch how he takes these grips. One hand underneath, one hand over the top. And I think he would have got penalized if he went for the technique immediately, but he settled, he waited a little bit. Bobanov, he's a highly intelligent judoka, knows exactly what he's doing. Imomali now, and defends this well. This is a good defense to uranage's, the kochi. Very sticky foot there, and eventually gets it. You can see Imomali, he's initiating a lot of these attacks. And Nurarayev, his option was to try for the uranage, but this was all forced from Imomali. Great stuff. Shishime with the Uchimata. And she's got a beautiful Uchimata. The way she just invites people to come forward. Really technical stuff. Kim here. And just the control. Kim doesn't let his opponent get his hands to the mat, so it doesn't go to newaza. And then he just turns them back the other direction. And even into the osaikomi too. Probably the best ippon of the entire tournament. Ashibarai. And I love it how instead of just jumping on him, he's waiting for Toth to pull him in. Bobanov. Gotta love Bobanov. Stump throwing Oyoshi here. Really sticky Hizaguruma. Unfortunate for Oyoshi, but Stump. He's hard to beat these days. Granda with the big Ochigari. Something about Cubans and Ochigari. They just have really, really good Ochigaris. Must be because they're such a wrestling-based country. This one here is why Seoi Nage is classified as a tewaza. No hips involved. Just using his hands and kuzushi. Bringing his opponent straight down to the mat. So some great control with the hands there. This one ended up being Hansokumake for head diving, but I liked it anyway. And it's quite incredible when people do these koshigurumas, what they do with their shoulders and the hands over the back like that. Such flexibility. I can just feel my shoulder wanting to pop out every time I see it. Kind of a sticky Haraigoshi Makikomi here. Really dropping his weight on that arm. And Uranage, another good one. This time a bit more traditional. So you can see that one hand high above on the lapel. And this variation of kataguruma, just weaving the hands across into the entry. Nice counter, Taiotoshi here. Counters the kosoto well. See as that foot touches, he just moves his leg across. Really nice counter. Bit of newaza now. And the transition here is really fast. Look at that, she's already on the arm. This next one, a counter to osotogari. And in Japanese, osotogaishi means to counter an osotogari, but not in this way. This is definitely a tani otoshi, I think. And osotogaishi is just meeting your osotogari with someone else's. Nice. Seoi Nage here. Always good to see them at the heavyweights. Double sleeves. And his opponent went right over. This next one. A nice little sasai. I mean, down on wazari, so you can understand the forward momentum, but Ai's using it well. Just sticks the leg there. This is Faro again. Although I do want to call him Mr. Yaguna Nage because he's so good at this technique. I think there were a total of 3 Ippons from him just doing this technique at the Tashkent Grand Slam. Definitely a maestro at that technique, so make sure you keep an eye out for him. Kosotogake, and that entry was lightning fast. Puts the hand over the top, stops the forward momentum, and then just goes. This one very rare. I guess you would just call it tewaza. So a lot of people, they generally like to tap the inside of the leg with a kochi just to off balance people, but ends up getting an ippon with that. Incredible. Bobanov again now. And he's so good at these sorts of techniques. In close. You can see he's looking for the uranage, looks straight up at the sky, doesn't get it, and then goes the other direction. And the most amazing thing about Bobanov is he can do this left, he can do this right. I'm still unsure what is his best side. I think it might be left, but he's so skilled in both directions. Nice Seoi Otoshi here. Starts it off with an Osoto, dropping down to the knees. Hence the word Otoshi, I guess. This Ochigari, really nice timing with the foot. Watch him just time it. Just waits for his opponent to put his weight on that foot. Really nicely done. Strong kataguruma now. And it's just incredible how he was able to finish this technique. Legs are in awkward positions. Still gets it done. I like this Uchimata, the steps. A little bit of fancy footwork. Faking a left-sided Seoi Nage. Raises the knee. Gets the reaction and goes in. Stump now. And he's doing all sorts of crazy stuff in this sequence. Little kochi. And then a double sleeve uchimata into a sumigaishi. I think Stump, he's a really skilled judoka. Definitely one of my favorites of 2023 so far. I called this an Osotogari in another video, but I'm sorry. Definitely, I think it's probably an Ashiguruma. And just a couple more Ippons now, guys. So if you've made it this far in the video, I hope you've subscribed. Hope you've liked the video. Helps me out a lot. And let me know in the comments if you've got any suggestions for videos. I'm definitely going to probably start doing less individual performances from specific tournaments, unless they're amazing performances like Bobanov's. But I do want to just go back and, you know, do like top Ippon videos or focus on technique or do breakdowns. I think that's what I want to do. Anyway guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace!